Salarah Starre is a UK-based advanced law of attraction teacher trainer, coach, public speaker, and leading wellness expert. She will share life-changing wisdom about the law of attraction and how you can use this powerful universal law to build a foundation for bigger and bolder manifesting results. It is time to create the life you deserve, and with Salarah's help, you will.
And a very, very warm welcome to Manifesting Easy with myself, Salarah Starre. I help you to master your manifestations and your life. No more chasing, no more forcing. It's time to own your power and, of course, unleash that master manifestor within you. I'm a law of attraction coach and spiritual mentor, and I help you unlock your next level. Now, when it comes to manifesting, one size definitely does not fit all. It would be really, really nice if we were just given a basic formula that we could follow and hey presto, our manifestations would fly to us like magic. But since doing this since 2006, I have discovered that we all have our very own unique formula when it comes to manifesting, and it's more about the journey than the outcome. The journey towards receiving our desires is so fulfilling and so enriching, and we have the opportunity to learn so much about ourselves, connect to our own inner wisdom and our own magic, and become wiser and stronger as a result of it. Today, I thought I would just focus on some of the foundations of manifesting. And I think it's really, really important, no matter how long we have been into manifesting, to always bring ourselves back to some of the most important and powerful foundational principles of manifesting. Now, manifesting is a very powerful self-help exercise. And we all know that it's becoming increasingly popular. We're hearing it on more Netflix series now, people saying that they're using the law of attraction. I've been on the BBC. Many of the tabloids are now talking about the law of attraction. So we know that this has become a very, very powerful principle. But a lot of people don't really understand exactly what the law of attraction is, or even how to use it to improve their life. So just to recap, for those of you who are new, or for those of you who have been into manifesting for a little while, it's always nice to have some revision. Manifestation works on the idea that you will attract into your life whatever it is that you're putting your focus and your energy on. So it works on a basic principle of like energy attracts like energy, and what you think about will come about. So take a moment now to look at everything around you and look at your life. Your life is a direct result of the energy and the focus and your intention that you have been cultivating in the past. But manifestation, it is such a powerful practice when we are conscious of what it is that we are creating, but not just conscious of what it is we are creating, making sure that the energy that we are coming from is exactly where it is that we want to go. And I think that's where many of us can find manifestation a little bit on the tricky side, because we wouldn't need to manifest something if it was something we already had, right? So most of the time we tend to come to manifesting from a place of need or greed or desperation or insecurity. So then when we use these powerful manifestation tools like affirmation and visualizations and such like, we generally tend to come to them and use them from a vibration of lack, trying to create something because we fear something might happen. And that's where many of us fall short in our manifestation practice. Now, it's not that we're doing anything wrong, because hearing this information is actually very empowering, and it is a rite of passage for anybody on a law of attraction journey. Because we'll all get to the stage where we're saying, right, universe, why isn't this working? I'm doing everything. Intellectually, I understand it. I'm using the tools, but I'm not seeing some of the more powerful manifestations that my heart desires. And it's usually because we have some kind of limiting belief, some kind of action or behavior that we are doing every day that is actually feeding the old program rather than creating something new that we want to experience. So it is super, super important to have that very, very clear vision for your future, but making sure that it's not coming from a place of lack. So for example, in our last podcast with my dear friend Jonathan, we were talking about health and how I was so worried about getting sick again that all the action I was taking was to stop myself from getting sick again. So instead of holding this beautiful vision of me being healthy and well and everything, all the action I was taking and all the food that I was eating and all the meditation and all these beautiful gratitude practices, it wasn't coming necessarily from a place of pure creation, focusing on a healthy outcome. It was all underpinned by a fear of not getting sick again. And many of us will do the same thing when it comes to our finances and other areas of our life. We will do these procedures, if you like, and use these tools, but not necessarily because we're creating this beautiful vision. It's because we're trying to avoid something else from happening. So that's why some of these tools are very, very powerful if they are used in the way of creation rather than trying to avoid something. So there is a belief that our thoughts directly influence our reality. And of course, that is true. Many times what we think about will come about, and where we put our focus, we will naturally start to see more of what we are focusing on. So that's why the power of intention is one of our best friends on this journey. But when we set an intention, we've got to make sure that it's not coming from that place of fear and trying to stop something from happening, rather than that place of setting an intention for the joy and the love of creation. And then we can then start to take inspired action. And then we find it's easy and effortless to have a positive mindset. We may even find we don't even really need to do the affirmations because our energy is the currency that we're bringing to this world. So the things we want and the things we desire come to us with a lot more ease and a lot more grace. And it becomes more of a natural part of our day to step into a dreamlike state of visualization. Instead of forcing ourselves to have to do the YouTube video visualizations and trying and pushing and trying to force our manifestations from happening, we find ourselves naturally daydreaming about what it is that we want to create. And because we're then holding that vision and we're coming from this light-hearted space of fun and flow and creation, we then naturally start to take inspired action, and the universe starts to rearrange itself in order to bring about certain circumstances for our goals to become manifest. So you may have noticed already that you've started working with some of these principles of the law of attraction, and they are really super impressive because we do see results. And what's great about that is it then gives us determination to carry on the pathway, eventually uncovering deeper wisdom, more powerful teachings in order to become a more powerful manifestor. So I'm going to cover some tips and tools on how to do things a little bit differently so that you can really start to dig a little bit deeper in your practice. Some of the things you may already be doing, some of the things may be new to you. Either way, it's great to have revision. But the one thing I do want to say, first of all, is it is so important to be willing to do things differently. The tools that you are currently using have helped you to create your current paradigm. And the tools that you're currently using, if you're really honest with yourself, you can ask yourself, has this come from a place of that pure desire to create, that joy of creation, or has it come because there's a fear or a worry or a need or an insecurity behind it? And if the answer is, well, actually, yes, if I'm really honest, there has been a fear behind this. There has been something that I didn't really realize that, I've been coming to this manifestation practice because yes, I really love it. And yes, I really enjoy it. But if I'm truly, truly honest with myself, right deep inside, I'm scared I'm scared I won't have enough money. I'm scared I won't find my life partner. I'm scared I won't be able to launch my business. I'm scared that my health won't be well. And because we're then creating from that vibration, we're not necessarily going to break free and get the results that we want. So moving into a higher vibrational frequency, there's a different set of tools that we start to discover that help us to move more into a higher vibrational space, or indeed become more aligned with our vision. Now, some of these tools, they're not the same as saying your affirmation and your visualization. This is something deeper. It's a deeper self-inquiry that starts to take place, because we realize that actually it's our internal world that is creating our external reality. And we're spending so much time using the tools that we've got, trying to change and manipulate our outside reality so it's more pleasing to us, but not realizing that it's a constant reflection of ourselves. And actually the real work needs to take place from within. And that's a different set of tools. So learning to become more emotionally connected to yourself, more emotionally intelligent, a heightened awareness of your feelings and what triggers you, and cultivating tools to help you overcome those triggers. Cultivating an awareness that sometimes when you feel, you heal, and it's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel cross. It's okay to feel these feelings and validate them. Because when you feel, like I said, you heal, and then you can move through that into your next space. Having done the energetic clearance, you're then ready to look at what the learning is, what the goals are, what the learnings are within the challenges that you're experiencing. But many people try and bypass this. Now, they don't try and bypass it on purpose. We're just not taught this stuff. But because you're listening to the show, and because you're ready to up level, it's becoming aware that there's something that you don't know that you don't know. And when you know that you don't know, you can then start to show up differently in your life and in your world in order to start to get different results. So through my journey of manifesting and my discovery that actually a lot of the things that we need to work on is actually within us. Doing an energetic, emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental clear out and cleanse, and having a deep connection with self on an emotional level. Learn to validate ourselves. Learn to get in touch with limiting beliefs that are running the show. And then slowly start to lovingly and compassionately deeply listen to what it is that you need, so that you can begin coming to yourself and validating yourself, no longer needing the world to hold you and validate you and keep you strong. Because you may have discovered that that is just a quick fix. When that happens, it's not long-term sustainable strength, because we're constantly having to look outside of ourselves in order to maintain that level of security. But it's all false security based on outside circumstances doing what we need them to do. But what if we were able to build that strength from within? So where you're going, there's a completely different set of tools. I've just finished a workshop where we've been going very, very deep into shadow work. Now, shadow work is very important along this journey. There's no doubt. And what dwells in our shadow are limiting beliefs, which are driving certain behaviors, which are keeping us in certain paradigms. But also in the shadow is the part of us ready to be birthed, the part of us that is authentic, the part of us that has its own beautiful, unique gifts to bring to this world. So it's not just about listening to a podcast and writing your journal in the morning with your intention and your gratitude at night. There's a lot more to it than that. It's a deep emotional clearing that can help to raise the vibrations in order to bring about new, more aligned manifestations with your heart's desire. So if you always do what you've always done, you're absolutely going to always get what you've always got. So you may have been hearing the term shadow work. And if you have been, then this is another message from the universe as an invitation to begin doing a deeper dive. And it's not comfortable when we uncover some of the aspects of ourselves that are hiding in the shadow, but it really is worth doing all the work. So, this is my invitation to you to do some of your own deeper work in a kind, loving container where you are really supported, so that you can really start to get in touch with the aspect of yourself deep in your subconscious mind, which is creating the reality that you are currently experiencing. Now, there may be amazing bits of it, but there may also be bits that you're now ready to change. And a lot of that stuff is on a deep subconscious level. Like I said, we don't know that we don't know. And it's about learning to get in touch with that. But there's also, when it comes to the law of attraction, we're constantly told, keep your vibe high. And yes, your feelings do play a big role in what you're attracting into your life. And yes, it is important to have a good structure of routine that can help you to maintain a strong vibration, a strong frequency, so that when the challenges of life come, which they will, you're able to navigate them more elegantly. You're able to come out of them more positively. You're able to come out of them quicker. But this is not about being a happy, clappy Pollyanna. I'm not into the whole toxic positivity, pretending everything's okay, ignoring any negative feelings, because I've just found it doesn't work. It's really, really important that we allow ourselves to feel. I remember going through something quite big last year, and I phoned my dear friend and a coach, and I explained everything that happened. And it was obvious that I was really upset by what had taken place. And he said to me, let's talk in 2 weeks' time. And I was like, oh, but I really wanted resolution. And he said, no, well, you haven't experienced the feelings yet. And there's no way that you're going to be able to move into the next step of your journey until those feelings have been seen, felt, heard, and expressed. And only then will you be ready to look at the lessons that are available to you in this process. Once you've allowed yourself to be present with your feelings, once you've allowed yourself to work through them, because vibrationally, when you allow yourself to feel all kinds of emotions, when you feel, that's when you heal. And when we try and ignore these feelings that are conglomerating in our energy field because we haven't allowed ourselves to go there, or we haven't known how to, that is what is creating an energetic pulse without us even knowing about it in our energy field that is holding our energy field down, stopping us from really experiencing everything that we want to experience. So getting in touch with your feelings is a very, very important part of the process, but alongside maintaining a very, very healthy practice so that you are able to do your manifesting practices in the morning. So for example, mine are setting my intention, but I take a moment too just to get in touch with my feelings. Like, how am I feeling today? And some days I'm feeling amazing and I'm there ready to write all my scripting and all these wonderful different manifesting techniques, and it feels really good. But other days I think, actually I'm feeling a bit anxious, or I'm feeling a bit down, or I'm feeling a bit whatever it might be. And I let myself go through a process of feeling into those, not to dwell, not to be that kind of negative Nancy, but just to honor myself where I'm at and allow myself to feel and express those feelings, because I know when I do, I'm able then to step into my manifesting practice with a more powerful aligned energy, and I'm more likely then to put the higher vibrational energy signature into my manifestations rather than trying to stop the worst thing from happening. So awareness and self-regulation is very, very important. Remember, all of our feelings vibrate on a different frequency. And yes, the universe does match our frequency. But if we're going into doing our affirmations and our visualizations and trying to force ourselves to feel good, but underneath it, we're feeling rubbish and rotten and scared, the predominant vibration that you are sending out is the one that you are trying to cover up underneath. And that's the one that needs to be felt and worked through in order to clear, so you can then come to your practice. And of course, it's also being, like I said before, like really clear on what it is that you want, not just on a daily basis, but also in all areas of your life. Like, what is my heart's deepest desire? What is it that I really want to create in my life? Who is it that I am becoming? And this isn't copying what other people have created and seeing what, Sally over there has created this thing in her relationship, and old Harry over there is traveling the world. And it's not looking at what other people have got. It's sitting within your own heart and truly being authentic. What is it that my heart desires to create? What is it that I feel would be the life of my choosing? And yes, it could end up looking something similar to what you see outside of yourself, but you're not taking inspiration from that. You're being authentic within your own visioning and creating what your heart truly wants to create from a place of fun and a place of experimentation and a place of growth and a place of desire and joy. So the universe doesn't hear the word don't. It only hears what you are focusing on. And it's not like the universe has this one big massive ear poking out the sky. It's all works on energy and it all works on frequency. So if you feel that you are coming from a place of pushing or forcing or worrying, that's an invitation to do some deeper clearing with a coach or with a trusted friend or some kind of process. Because there's no point in putting your time and energy into manifesting if the foundation of your very practice is coming from a place of fear and worry. And it's important, as part of the manifesting process, is to get very, very used to doing the deeper clearings, because that's when you're really going to start seeing some great results in your practice. And these are very, very important considerations for anybody on the journey. We also hear people saying, well, just act as if you've already manifested your dreams. And yeah, although that is a really, really good tool, some of us get into really big trouble as well with that. I remember somebody saying that to me years ago. So I went and stayed in a £500 a night hotel and put it on my credit card thinking, oh, well, there you go. The universe will sort that out. I'm just meant to act as if. I ended up getting myself in horrendous debt, causing myself terrible sleepless nights. So I wasn't being particularly responsible with it either. So there is a fine line between acting as if you've already got it, but making sure that your foundations are aligned with your vision. And what you're doing is not coming from a space of lack of responsibility and avoidance. It's coming from a place of pure joy. And when you're in that place of pure joy, you don't have to force yourself to act as if you've already got it, because you're feeling that joy in your heart. So it's not something you have to try and make happen. And another tip that I'd like to just end this particular show on is making sure that you stay aligned with the universe. The universe is going to send you so many signs along the way. And it's really important to remember to ask for help. And it's not just like, oh, universe, can you help me manifest that car parking space, or help me, receive X amount of money? I had somebody messaging me saying, can you help me manifest 250,000 in a short amount of time? Of course, we hear of a lot of people that can manifest that kind of money in a short amount of time, but if energetically the frequency is not organically in the right place, that will become a very diseased manifestation and become very, very stressful, and a lot of hard stuff will happen along the way. So looking out for the signs, asking the universe to help, but it's not necessarily the questions. It can be something like, universe, show me what it is that I need to clear inside of me in order to help me to reach my goal. What is it that I'm not seeing here? Thank you, universe, for bringing me the right wisdom, the right teacher, the right information in order to help me see what it is that I need to see in order to help me manifest what it is that I would love to manifest. And having this conversation with the universe is really important. I will once a week at least write a letter to the universe. It's being very honest with how I feel. Very, very honest. But then I'll make sure the second part of the letter is then aligned with inviting the universe in to help me, but not from a place of placating. Please, universe, can you? From a place of, you know what, universe, I'm really ready for this. Thank you for coming in and lighting the way for me. Thank you for showing me the signs and giving me the clues of where it is I need to go in order to grow. Thank you for helping me to see what it is that I can't see within this. Thank you for making this clear for me. And we're not going to get the whole picture all at once. We will just get the next step, and then the next step, and the next step. But guaranteed, if you ask, the universe will bring you the information that you need. Okay, so there's a lot in this, but it's really, really great just to have a listen and, be on track and just think, well, which one really spoke to me today? I know sometimes in the shows we can cover a huge amount, but it's like, what one thing has really spoken to me from this podcast today? And then taking that one thing and over the next week or so is starting to work with that energy intentionally through your journaling practice, through communicating with the universe, through asking for help. And that's when you're going to start to see some really, really powerful results. Anyway, my lovely friends, as always, it's been beautiful to be with you. I can't wait to be back with you next week. And in the meantime, give me a little like and a little share. It really helps to get the podcast out there. And I'd really, really love to hear. Send me a message on Instagram or Facebook or email and let me know how your manifestation practice is going and any questions you might have that I can help you with along the way. But for now, wishing you loads and loads of love, and I will be back with you super soon. All right, take care. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening. Salarah Starre will be back next week with great insights into the law of attraction. In the meantime, please visit salarahstarre.com.